Hey guys, Andy back here from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you something a little bit different this week. So as we're all well aware, 3D printing has become more and more prevalent in the miniature world over the last couple of years, and that is not looking to slow down anytime soon. Every week there's new companies opening up and designing beautiful new miniatures for you to print out at home to enjoy painting and gaming with. The problem with this is not everybody has access to 3D printers. Should these people be excluded from this particular part of the hobby because they A, don't have the space, B, the money, or C, the interest in 3D printing in order to get these miniatures? No, they should definitely not be excluded for this. And so many companies have now spread it up to fill this particular gap in the market, such as the one that is the first supporter of the Mediocre Hobbies channel, We Print Miniatures. Companies like this will take the scopes from miniatures and print them out for you, clean them up and ship them straight to your front door at minimal cost. That means that these miniatures are no longer out of your reach if you do not have a 3D printer. So stick around, these guys have sent me out a couple of miniatures. I'm going to paint one up in this video and talk to you a little bit more about what these companies have to offer you. Enjoy the video, guys. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, We Print Miniatures is the first company to reach out to me after I announced that I was going full-time on social media. At first, they asked me simply to pick out a nice model from their website and they will send it out to me as a kind of get me started thing or to introduce me to their products. I was so pleasantly surprised when I visited their website and blown away by the staggering quantity of miniatures they have, all of which are absolutely beautiful. I told them it was very difficult for me to choose just one. I sent them across a list of about 6 or 7 that I liked and told them to send me any one of these and I would be delighted. They sent me out all the miniatures that I asked for, which was a pleasant surprise when it arrived in the mail. And I, of course, had to paint one up for you guys for a video. So I decided to do the Mad Max style bounty hunter and paint him up. Companies like We Print Miniatures take the hassle of 3D printing away from our hands. Like I said at the beginning of this video, 3D printing is not accessible to all people for a number of different reasons. Whether it be you do not want to handle caustic materials, you don't want to have to go through the hassle of using computer software, you don't have the money to buy a 3D printer to maintain a 3D printer, and all of those are valid reasons. It's also a hobby unto itself, and maybe that particular hobby doesn't interest you. That doesn't mean that beautiful models should be out of your reach. And that's where companies like We Print Miniatures and many others have stepped in to fill that void. If there are miniatures out there that you really like but do not have access to a 3D printer, there's loads of different ways for you to get your hands on it. Most of the time, these files will already be uploaded to websites somewhere that you can literally click, add to cart, and a company will print them out for you and send them straight to you. In the case where this is not true, you can find the file yourself, send that to someone on, say, Fiverr, and they will then print that out for you. So even if a business is not already set up to produce and ship that miniature to you, that doesn't mean you don't have access to the model. This means that you are in no way, shape or form left out of the 3D printing miniature community, and you do have full access to every 3D file that is available to you on the internet. The only remit that I have when I say this is make sure that you are doing it legally. These files belong to somebody. If they have chosen to freely put them up online on something like Thingiverse, then print away to your heart's content. If it is something that comes from, say, Titanforge, it is a file that has been paid for or does in fact have a paywall, I thoroughly believe that you should indeed pay for that file. Designers have spent a lot of hard time, effort, and skill producing these files for us, and they deserve to be paid for their hard work. This will encourage them, of course, to produce other fantastic miniatures for us to print and play with. If all of their work is just being ripped off online, then you'll quickly see them lose interest in this particular part of the market, and then we will have lost their skills and talent forever. Okay, now back to the subject matter at hand, which is the miniature I'm painting up from We Print Miniatures. Like I said, I went for this really cool bounty hunter style miniature. He's kind of got vibes of Mad Max, Negan from The Walking Dead, all sorts of different things. What I decided to do with him is mount him on a Necromunda base, because that's what he will be for me. I will be using this particular guy as a Necromunda bounty hunter. And that's one of the most fantastic things about the 3D printing world, is they design these random miniatures that you then decide where you want to place them in your hobby. There's a lot of games coming out now, or a lot of rule sets coming out now that require or that have miniature agnostic is the new phrase that I learned recently, and I'm absolutely in love with it. And that means that there is no set miniatures attached to the rule set of the game. Therefore, you get to go away and decide what the models you want to have for your game are, get them printed, or print them yourself, get them painted up, and get them on the gaming table. For me, one of the reasons that this is the most exciting is that you could show up to a games evening with, say, 8 other gamers playing a game that is miniature agnostic, and you have absolutely no idea what models they're going to put on the table. And to me, that is a super exciting thing. So this guy miniature that I'm looking at here is almost fully painted. One of the things that always blows me away when it comes to 3D printed models is how far they've come in quality and detail. Like, this miniature is not lacking detail in any way, shape or form. He has every crease in his fabric is there, it's well defined. He's got buttons and buckles, and the facial detail is amazing. He's got facial hair, like the chains wrapped around his wrist are coming down from his jeans, the straps on his boots. He's even holding a bottle of Jack Daniels in his hand. In my head, if I was to do a diorama for this guy, I really like the idea of him cornered in the Necromunda Underhive, maybe by a group of Arbites, knowing that he is about to be in for the fight of his life, and saluting the police officers with a bottle of Jack Daniels before he goes to work with his bat, knowing he's probably going to lose the fight, but it's that kind of resistance in him that sparks my creative juices. It was an absolute pleasure to work on these miniatures. I hope you guys will check out the company We Print Miniatures. I will put links below. They've also very kindly giving us an extra code for 20% off your orders. So if there is something that piques your interest from the website, please don't forget to use that code to get 20% off your order. And yeah, this is the final result of my painting. Like I say, I think he fits beautifully into the Necromunda setting, as you can see here. I'm sure his mug is on a wanted poster somewhere in the Underhive. Bit of clever Photoshop, and I'm sure I could make that work. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I know it was a little bit different, but I hope you did find it entertaining and enjoying, and maybe a little bit informative. If that's the case, then think about dropping the video a like. Ask me any questions you have in the comments below. I will get back to each and every one of you guys. And if you want to support me and the 365 project even further, there are links to my Patreon below. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.